The word love can be a very dangerous word if you're not careful. It can be a very manipulative word. As a matter of fact, I would say that the word love is probably the most narcissistic word within the human dictionary. The word love can change, it can morph, it can mean different things to different people, it can shapeshift, it can change its colors to fit any situation, much like a narcissist. I believe narcissistically abusive people or any type of controlling person loves the concept of love because it's able to shapeshift and morph just like them. And as a result, I believe that narcissistically abusive people and controlling people, whether it's family members, friends, or dating partners, they utilize love as a weapon against you, not only to lure you into a relationship because of love, but also to then keep you stuck. This message is intended to get the conversation started, to get you thinking about the concept of love so that you can determine how important it is as an adult in your adult relationships. Let's talk about this. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Before I continue with this very important message, I do want to let you know that I'm here to support you. Down in the description box, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. I do take telephone calls as well as video calls, Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. It's all available for you. So head on down there, schedule that time with me. If you need some one-on-one work on redefining love in your life, head on down there. I'd love to talk with you about that. See what I did there? I'd love to talk with you about that. All right. Anyhow, I also have a coaching program. My coaching program is live and in person each and every day, Monday through Friday. The Roe community comes together. We're holding each other accountable to go no contact and to move into a toxic-free 2023. So if you're looking for accountability in your life, consider joining the Royal We coaching program. I would love to see you in class. Doggone it. I'm still using that word. This word love that we put so much emphasis on, that narcissistically abusive people have weaponized. This word love is used for all kinds of stuff just like that. People are out there saying, oh, I love those cars. Oh, I love those shoes. Ooh, I love those. I love that movie. I love Thai food. I love sushi. I love this. I love that. Why would you build a relationship of intimacy and promise and commitment upon a word that's also used to describe a connection with food or a pitch to get people to make phone calls? Let's change what we're looking for. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a video right here because my desire and your desire should be for successful relationships, which means we can't look to fall in love. And it's because from what I experienced and what I truly believe, love is actually a narcissistic word. It's a very controlling, manipulative concept at its core because of the fact that it's foundationless. Because it does not have a specific meaning, it allows itself to morph. The word love can morph. It can transform. It can shapeshift, just like a narcissist, as I mentioned earlier, which makes it the perfect word for narcissists to use to not only get into a relationship, but as we're going to talk about in this video, it can keep you stuck in a relationship, all because of this word that we put so much emphasis on, which is just a shape-shifting word. Narcissistically abusive people can utilize that to sneak into your life. Oh my gosh, I love you. And by the way, as you've been raised up believing love is super important and you need love, so let me in. I will love you. Let me love you, right? What does that mean? You're going to love me? How do you define that? Well, don't worry about how I can define that. Just let me in so I can love you. Which ultimately in toxic relationships means they come in and take advantage of you, right? Get sex from you, take your money, whatever. That's them loving you. But watch this. The worst part is that then they're able to keep you in a toxic relationship, also using the same word, love, as a manipulative guilt tool. Because you've been conditioned to put so much emphasis on love, because you've had churches lie to you about the reality of love, you'll believe that you are a horrible person if you don't have this love that the Bible talks about. You then, out of fear of feeling guilty and unloving, oftentimes will be trapped in a toxic relationship because you don't want to be unloving, even if they are abusive. I know that you're sipping the milk off of your non-denominational, joke-telling Christian pastor out there who wants you to believe this concept of love is really awesome. But here's the deal. The word love is an English word, not a biblical word. The word love didn't exist at the time the Bible was written. Not at all. The concept of love didn't exist. They had very specific words that meant very specific things, and your pastor's probably not telling you this. Anytime you see the word love referenced in the Bible, the actual word was probably closer to agape, which had a very clear, defined, specific meaning. So in the English language, we've wiped that very defined word, very defined action out and have replaced it with this concept of love. Find love, get married, true love, blah, blah, blah. Why? Listen, by now everybody knows that Hollywood, television, right, whatever, is a mess. It's all an effort to control you, the way you think, the way you act, the way you perceive reality. Why is Hollywood media always used love as a part of that? It's an attempt to have you strive and look for something. There's even a song, right? Foreigner, is it? I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. And this is typically how we walk around in this life. I want to know what love is. I want love. So, narcissistically abusive people, the door is wide open to them because of that. Because of your desire to want to know what love is, your door is wide open. Please show me what love is. And they come right in. I got love, baby. I love you. Which translates into, I want to take from you. Now watch this. Narcissistically abusive people use this morphing word, however it needs to transform, to avoid having to be specific things for you in life. Why? Because you don't matter. Your needs don't matter. So instead, no, I'm not going to focus on what you need. Let's just focus on love, baby. This thing that can transform and morph like me. Okay. So they use this to weasel into your lives without having to be accountable, without having to actually be something that you need. They get you to look over here at this mystical concept of love, get you all wrapped up in this lovey-dovey love, so that they don't have to show you that they're not committed, that they're not loyal, that they're not financially responsible, that they're not, you fill in the blank with everything that the narcissistic people are not in your life, right? But watch this. They use it not only to get into your life, but then abusive people can use the concept of love to keep you trapped in a toxic relationship, which is just as damaging as, it's the most damaging thing. This is the most manipulative way in which love is used. And I've experienced this firsthand. I'm going to share with you 2 stories from my real world experience of how love was used in a very manipulative way to keep somebody in coerced control. The first was that of my mother. In my mother's second marriage, which was with a mentally, emotionally abusive man, my stepfather. And I can clearly remember listening to them argue and fight. And it was horrible. The yelling and the screaming and the punching of the holes in the walls and all this and horrible stuff. And I can specifically recall one argument where my mother literally yelled out, "If you hate this house and this family, if you hate me so much, then why are you still here?" How many of you have been in that place where you were with narcissistic people, family members or intimate partners or a marriage, where you were asking that question? You're so full of hate and rage. Why are you with me? Why don't you leave? Because you know narcissistically abusive people won't leave. But it was the response that I can remember that really confused me. The response that I heard in that moment was, "Because I love you, Dina. Because this is what love is. We fight and we punch holes in the walls, blah, 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 blah." Reminds me of a movie. There was a movie. I don't know what it's called, the Black Shoe Diaries or whatever, where this guy was having this conversation. They were fighting and he was saying the same thing. "This is what love is. We argue. And you tell me what a jerk I am. And and because I love you." It's not love. What is that? It's not love. The Notebook. The Notebook is what that movie was called. Watch The Notebook. There's that scene, right, where Mr. Handsome Charming is yelling, screaming, saying, "This is love." And by the way, how do you argue with them with that? What was my mother to say in response? "You don't love me." Well, then he could have turned around and said, "Yes, I do. You're crazy. I do love you. That's why I'm here." Even though He's very abusive. I'm going to share one more example of this because I came across this later in life. I experienced it again firsthand when I was dealing with narcissistic siblings, in-laws. I was trying to find my place within this family dynamic, which I didn't belong. It was very abusive, name-calling, all this stuff. It was horrible. It's just abusive. It was nasty. But I can remember them also saying, oh, but we love you. And blaming me for not liking them. So it's an abusive environment, and you never liked us. This is love. We do this because we love you. One of the abusive people would actually say that. Still says it. I love you. I've always loved you. There's no, what do you mean? I haven't seen any love. I've seen cussing, name-calling, fighting. I haven't seen anything that represents love, at least not my understanding of love. But once again, because the word love is a shape-shifting, morphing word, it has no foundational understanding, well, narcissistically abusive people can use it. And who are you to then tell a narcissistic person that they're wrong? Who am I? I can't. You can't. We cannot tell narcissistically abusive people or controlling people that their understanding of love is wrong and ours is right. It's much easier to instead back off the word love and say, maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe I have been lied to. And so this is why we're having this conversation, because ultimately we want to determine our relationships on something with more substance than just love. We can live according to operating out of love to the best of our ability. Sure. If that's what you believe is necessary, right? Live from that place. However, my point is to help encourage people to not get stuck in toxic relationships that's built upon this understanding or this manipulated understanding or concept of love, which happens to be a narcissistic concept that can transform and shapeshift. So I'm going to spend some more time talking about love. I put together another video because it's my desire that you have success in your relationships. So I want you to watch this video right here, which I offer a different approach to dating and finding a healthy relationship that's based on success. Because I want you to have success in relationships, not love. Watch this video, and I'll be back with more right here on The Royal We.